Hi there, my name's Nathan Hawthorne, and I'm an artist and teacher. And if there's one thing that I know that artists love, it's an art book. A good art book is such an asset to us, and we love to have it in our collections. So today I've got The Art of Marvel Studios' What If in front of me. I ordered it on a whim because the book that I did order didn't come, which was Art of Arcane. And so I redirected my funds towards this, and it was an amazing purchase. Just looking at the cover art, we can see it's got the full set of heroes from the first season, because this is from the first season. So it's about 2 or 3 years back. And on the back, it has all the antagonists. Of course, Infinity Ultron there in the middle. Now, what I'm going to do today is just have a quick flick through and look at some of the parts which stood out to me. I haven't had an in-depth look at this yet, but I thought, you know what, let's just get this up because people were really excited about um, you know seeing what's inside. So yeah, have a gander through with me, and uh, hopefully you'll see something that you like. So first of all, if you do take the dust jacket, got a pretty impressive image of the Watcher Uatu inside, and on the back just more space, so that's fine. And then you're thrown right into a nice solid concept image of the Watcher. Now, if there's one thing that I've learned about the Watcher from seeing the first time that I saw him, which was back in Silver Surfer when my dad showed it to me when I was younger, is that he's always got this nice mysterious sort of aura and glow around him, and it was good that they've managed to get that across throughout this series. I mean, just again, you can see that they've really communicated his power, his loftiness without being too aloof with his design. Now, of course, jumping straight in, we have the contents, and you'll see that the contents go through their different ways of looking and approaching the series, but at the same time, they do it while focusing on one of the individual what if episodes and scenarios. Now, one thing that I do like about this is that on one of the early pages, it's got a who's who. It tells you who the different people and that input is. And so when you see the names appearing later on, whether it be in the sections of writing or whether it be by the actual images themselves, because you'll notice that some of these have, well, pretty much every single image, they've really got credits and artists in this. It has their names there. So right at the front, it tells you who's who, and then you can relate it to the names that are by the images or mentioned in the different paragraphs. So let's jump straight in. So one thing that I do like is that they talk a lot about their sources. And of course, part of the reason why we have these art books in the first place is to look at and get sources, inspiration, and understand what they're actually doing, the artists and concept artists and designers and directors behind these things. So here we see that for the first episode, which is all about um, if Peggy Carter became Captain Carter, um, we see that they took reference from J.C. Leyendecker, who, if you haven't seen his artwork, is really amazing. And of course, Ryan Maynard, who's an artist who I've been following for quite some time since I was quite young. His handprints are all over it, and he comments a lot on how he designs these characters and how he oversaw it. And yeah, you can really see all the references to the different resources that they looked into and all the different sources that they looked into. So some more Watcher development. Now I'm more used to Watcher looking like this. This is how I remember him looking more like during the the Silver Surfer when I first saw it. But I do like the design that they ended with initially, even though I'm not a massive fan of the art style that is used in What If. I do think that sometimes it really does work. So yes, it is quite nice to see his development and how they got to him. And of course, the other Watchers who, of course, we see properly in the most recent season. Jumping forward a bit more. All right. So we've got more of the different designs from the Captain Carter episodes. So we got Howard Stark and the notes on him and other characters. I find it quite interesting that it seems like they reused a lot of assets for the latest seasons, which makes sense. Although, of course, I know some people aren't too keen on the recurring or an overarching story. They would have preferred if it was individual episodes. But that's a different discussion for a different time. I also like that there's different styles of the same character in some situation. One which is more painterly, and one which leans more towards the style that we see within the actual story itself, or within the show itself. And of course, you can't have an art book without all the different shots and scenes and concept art of the different locations. And I love that they dedicate so many pages to this. Like if you're just looking at how many shots they have for key scenes or storyboards, it's really helpful to me as an artist, and I'm sure it's to anyone who appreciates moving image as well. So now moving on to one of the other scenarios, we've got the one that centers around T'Challa, and if he was picked himself, well, if he became Star Lord, and yeah, we've got some really good turnarounds here. Development of the different characters, the Ravagers, of Thanos' children, and of characters sort of big and small. I mean, you've got clean here. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people who aim to be concept artists don't actually realize. Just like the small little things or characters who may not seem that significant, how they need to be developed as well. They need to fit in with the language and the visual of the entire project too. Jumping forward a bit more. I mean, look at the detail on that by Luc Desmarchelier. And I love these sort of city scenes. I'm looking at some of this artwork and it reminds me a bit of Feng Zhu's work. This is by Roy Sentua, Cynthia Haley, and Shang Choi. But it really does have that sort of atmospheric feel that I used to see in a lot of Feng Zhu's artwork. And just jumping forward quite a chunk because I wish I could show you every page, but I can't. There's just too much good stuff to see. We've got some of the stuff on Doctor Strange's episode. Really nice, clean designs. These ones are from a mixture of artists. So these aren't just randomly editing, although some are. But we've got a lot by Emilia Vidal, Alejandro Moreno, and Chris Howard. Different creatures. Just like Alejandro Moreno has a lot more of a cartoony style, which is a good balance for some of the others who are a lot more detailed and seem a bit more semi-realistic. So it's good that they have a good balance to find that sort of middle ground for the visual language that they were aiming for. And I love pages like these in art books, ones where they really, really break down form, structure, why they chose what they chose, um, how they turned it into the final products. This is where, for students of the arts, this is where you learn. This is the most useful part of the art books for you because it's not just pretty pictures; it's explaining what constructs or how the pretty pictures are constructed. More amazing art from the start from Killmonger episode. And I really like these circles behind. One thing that I find when doing a lot of character designs is they sort of sit in white space or sit on grey space or black space, and you just sort of want to put something behind them to ground them, but you don't want to put in a whole background because you don't need that. Or the modelers who are going to be working from this don't need that. So something simple like a rectangle or circle often does the job. And these orange circles are actually pretty effective. More brilliant designs. One thing I will say, especially for the first season, I found was that they were really good at getting the likenesses. I feel like the later seasons were a little bit more hit and miss, but in the first seasons they really did look like the actors. So Chadwick is very obviously Chadwick. And so I think that's sort of what they were going for, and they achieved it well. Some atmospheric pieces. And one thing I'll say is that the quality of the paper is really nice. It's not too shiny. I mean, even the fact that it shows up quite clearly in this video is pretty good because I find a lot of time when I try to show books and images on videos, they can sometimes be a bit too shiny and they don't show up well. But this works for both visually seeing and like even physically turning. One thing I will say though is that I do like when they have a little bit of that sandy feel to them. Art books. I think my Destiny, um, my Destiny art book has the nicest feel to it. It's like a slight roughness on each page, and it's feel quite nice to flip through. All right, let's take another jump. This is from the Thor and Loki. Well, you can see the artwork. I think some of the artwork's actually used inside the actual episode as well in some of these cases. But let's jump forward quite. All right. So Infinity Ultron, he of course shows up more than once throughout the different series, and it's a solid design, a very good combination of both Vision and Ultron's design, with that sort of Asgardian flourish to it, along with the Infinity Stones. And of course, you've got that orange circle again. Ryan Mainderding, he uses the orange circles a lot. The one case here where we haven't got that is this combination of Ryan Mainderding and Emilia Vidal, who seem to actually be like the main character artist by the looks of it on this project. But yeah, it's generally a really, really nice, attractive book with loads of notes. Look at that. I've been enjoying like going through this bit by bit. One thing that I'm aiming to do in the coming year is really go through all my art books and really take it from a more educational point of view rather than just looking for basic inspiration, but looking for the actual construction of things, how they're put together, why they chose what they chose to do, and what are the things to use in my own projects and also for any clients that I have as well. And of course, when teaching students too, you want to get that across to them. Right, here's something that a lot of people just quote from uh, most recent series of What If will probably enjoy because, of course, we see the Watcher kitted out like this again in there. So, yeah, so much to see. And if you are a Marvel fan, whether you're an artist or not, I would definitely say this is a book worth investing in. I mean, it cost me, I think, £13.90 or something like that. So very, very cheap. Yes, it only covers the first season, but to be honest, a lot of these characters show up in the later seasons, so it's worth it. And if you're just an art student who collects these types of books and learns from them, then this is definitely one to have out in there if you have an appreciation for comic art or for animation and uh, the different approaches that can be taken to constructing something of this level. So yeah, thanks for watching this. Please tell me what you thought of it. Who was your favorite character within this? Do you actually think that the What If series worked? And is this a book that you would invest in yourself? Or if you have any other suggestions of art books, let me know. Just let me know in the comments down below. And of course, give us a like and subscribe. And there's more videos like this to come. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.